I'm going to be using Tamiya fine white surface primer, and I'm going to decant it for airbrushing. So I have a small mixing cup here, and I'm going to take a pipette and cut off the end and then trim the other end until I'm going to reuse this one until the end here fits over the nozzle. You don't have to glue it or anything like that. Just fasten it. Fits right over it. I'm spraying it at the side, and it's just filling up the cup. Now, this is a lacquer primer, and I am going to mix in some Tamiya acrylic X8. I'm going to tint the primer so that the primer coats are going to be the base for the final coat. I'm not going to use much. I'm just going to use a little spoon end on this paint stirrer. Just like a couple drops. Just so that it tints the primer a little bit. Making a mess here. Give it a stir. See, I'm almost at the base coat that I'm going to use for the body, but it's just a little lighter. It's sort of a vanilla color now. But this really is about the same color that I want to use for the base coat. I don't know what it is about using the straw that I do when I mix it, when I decant, but I'm not getting those bubbles. You know, like when the propellant's going out, I'm not getting those bubbles at all. So I don't know. Okay, so I have about 10 milliliters of paint there, and I'm going to thin it down 15. So I'm going to add 5 milliliters of Mr. Hobby leveling thinner. Okay, now I'm at 15. So I'm at 5 milliliters of Mr. Hobby leveling thinner. We'll give it a good stir. We'll test it out on a spoon. Alright, let's shoot some primer. Got some paint in the cup. This is my Master D79 trigger airbrush. And of course I'm going to start at the bottom. And just putting a dust coat of this primer. And even parts that I'm not going to leave yellow, at least I'm getting primer on them. You can check for rough spots or anything that needs to be sanded for later on. So I'm back at the bench, and now it's time to give these pieces a real fine inspection. I've got just little bitty rough edges that I need to take care of. But just look over your parts, because this is the time to do it. And if you need to sand it, sand it. Put another coat of primer on it afterwards. But now is the time to check. I have a little bit of a rough edge right here, which I'll take care of. So now I have 2 coats of primer, and this is basically the color that I want it to be. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to mix some Tamiya LP2 white and a few more drops of the X8 into another cup, thin it out, and I'm going to do one coat, one really good coat on the body, and then call it quits. Okay, so I've got 12.5 ounces, or 12.5 milliliters, which is 7.5 milliliters of the white, 5 drops of the yellow, and then the rest is thinner, Mr. Hobby leveling thinner. Really just trying to get the shade of paint. I'm not trying to get a gloss coat or anything like that. We'll talk about that a little more later. Interior, I don't think I'm going to need as much paint as I did for the body. So I'm going to mix 5 milliliters of red. I found some flat black, LP3, and I'll mix just a few drops in with the red. So thin it won't even catch a whole drop. Put my gloves on. Put your gloves on before you start mixing with paint. I think I want it a little darker than this. Still pretty red. That's better. twist it on and check all my work. For the engine, I'm using Mr. Metal Color Copper. Thin it with Mr. Hobby Leveling Thinner. Let's do some foil trim. So I'm going to do this piece first. It's nice and easy. Take my ruler, cut a thin strip. Got it. Yeah, I got it. Q-tip. Sharpened toothpick. Now for the fun part. This is a scalpel blade. Now I cut my foils really slow. There's no reason to rush this. Sometimes you take a toothpick and run it against a line, and the foil will come right off of this edge here, just like that. Burnish it down a little more. And take your toothpick and run it right along your cut line. Kind of seal it in. There. So that part's done. Now for the hard one. This is why I wanted to keep my paint thin. It faints emblem right here on the nose. We're going to do that next. So I'll cut a piece bigger than the emblem. I know I'm wasting a whole bunch, but I'm not worried about it. Stuff's not that expensive. Plus, I don't do a lot of muscle cars, so I'll probably end up throwing half of this away. All right, capture it. There's actually letters that say Ford right above the emblem. We'll capture all of that with the foil. Burnish it real good. I have these little bitty pointy Q-tips. I think Tamiya makes these. Burnish it down real good. And then take your toothpick and go over it again. You have to get down all into the little crevices and stuff. You can actually read the Ford letters now. All right, now the fun part. rest of the body is already foiled and it's ready for clear. Got some door handles, door locks around the windows. There's another one of those emblems on the trunk. Yeah, it's ready. All right, so what'd you guys think of paint day? I did end up putting 4 coats of clear on the body. I didn't lose any of the door lines or anything. And next episode, we will do some polishing. Also do the interior and the engine next episode. So stay tuned for next episode. I did say that I was gonna explain my paint process. I do base coat, clear coat. So I tinted the primer, as you saw. so that I could get the base coat almost ready. Shot one and a half heavy coats of the base coat to get the color. And that's all I wanted to do, was just get the shade that I wanted the finished car to be. I didn't do any gloss coats or heavy coats because it's just building up paint, and that's what I didn't want to do so that I could capture the emblems. Oh, I did color the emblems, by the way. But I just wanted to have enough paint on it so that it was the color that I wanted it to be. Foiled it, and then put the four coats, put the 4 coats of clear on it, and now it's ready to go for polishing. You can see every little detail in the body. Some may say, oh, but you can see right through it. You can't see right through this. So my point is this: you can use a rattle can if you want. I'll stick with my airbrush. I can put on as many coats as I need and keep everything, all the detail there. If you're rattle canning, you can't help it. You can't put this thin a paint job using a rattle can. It can't be done. It can't be done. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave me a comment below. Let me know what you thought of the video. I appreciate you guys watching, and we'll be back next week. So thanks everyone, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye. You still here? Go ahead and watch the next video. Hit the subscribe button.